Say, I heard about this heaven. One day St. Peter says, hey, we're going to play a game today. Said, I want all the men to come over here. And all the men ran around St. Peter. St. Peter said, now I want you to get in 2 lines. I want in the line over here, I want all the hen-pecked husbands. And in the line over here, I want all the husbands who were not hen-pecked. And so the men started scrambling to get in line, and every man was in that line over there of hen-pecked husband. And over here was only one man who wasn't hen-pecked. And over here was all these big football players and weightlifters and wrestlers and all kinds of people, big old brawny guys, you know. But over here was a little old man, about 5'2", probably weighed about 102 pounds. And he was sitting there, he was kind of shaking a little bit. He was skinny, and he was shaking a little bit. And he had his head down, he was just like this. One of the big old football players hollered at him and said, hey you, what are you doing in that line over there? He said, this is where my wife told me. And I got a friend who was really henpicked by his wife. And so he decided to do something about it. And he went to a psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist says, well, we got to work on 2 things for you. Number 1, we got to work on your self-esteem. We got to get you thinking better about yourself. And then when we do that, we got to work on your assertiveness to get you to be a little more assertive. So I said, let's start. Well, after about 3 sessions, he got feeling pretty good about himself. And after 4 sessions, he's working on that assertiveness, and he said, I'm ready. And the psychiatrist said, okay, go home and do your thing. Man, he just walked into his house. He kind of strutted, you know. He walked right up to his wife. He didn't grin. He just looked her straight in the eye. He pointed a finger right at her, right between her eyes. And he said, woman, I want you to know something. I am the man of this house. And whatever I say goes. And that's the way it is. And what you say doesn't matter one bit. Now, you are going to fix me a meal tonight that is fit for a king. And when that meal is over, you are going to fix me a dessert, something that I like really, really well. And when you get done doing that, and then when you get done cleaning up the kitchen, you're going to draw me a bath. And I'm going to take a bath, and I'm going to soak and relax. And when I get done relaxing, guess who's going to clean me up and comb my hair? She said, this fella, he was dying on his deathbed, you know, and he knew that it was just not very long until he was going to be gone, and all of a sudden he smelled something. And it smelled like it was his favorite. It smelled like that his wife was making his favorite chocolate chip cookies. And he thought, well, that smells so good, maybe I've already gone to heaven. I don't know. And he thought, no, he said, I really think I'm still on earth. I really think my wife's in the kitchen. I really think that she's making my favorite, bless her heart. She wanted me to have my favorite cookie before I left this earth. And I mean, with great determination, he worked his way out of bed, and he stood up. And he was very wobbly, but he began to make his way out of the bedroom and down the hallway. And he got right to where he could see in the kitchen, and sure enough, there was some paper laid out on the kitchen counter, and there were drops of cookies all over those, just the way she's always done it. And he thought, man, about 12 more steps, and I'm there. And he made a superhuman effort, and he made his way in there, and he leaned up against the table, and he took a breath, and finally he reached out to get one of the cookies. Just so thankful for his loving wife, who prepared them for him so he could go ahead and go to his reward. And just as he touched a cookie, a spatula touched his hand. And a familiar voice said, stay out of those, they're for the funeral.